Welcome and thank you for watching this quick little video here that I'm making on this building in central Arlington, Texas. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas that have cracks like this, so those will need to be caulked. There's 2, there's 3. Down there on that corner is 4, and then all the way up into that corner is another 5th one coming off of that. Those doors don't need to be primed or much. This one right here has paint that's going to need to be scraped off, but it's mostly those metal supports up there. What are they called? Lintels? They're going to need to be scraped and primed with a metal primer, preferably, if you want them done right. And then same thing with that door is going to need a metal primer, and then some of that door is going to need a metal primer. I don't know what we want to do with that hole right there in the brick, but so those are the things. You could do the option where we just wash it down to clean it, wash off dirt is all, and refrain from removing any paint, and then paint it 2 complete coats without even worrying about anything else. Just paint it all 2 complete coats. If we did that, the challenge is going to be that these doors will come back. That rust will bleed through eventually within a couple or a few years. The rust up here on these lintels I was speaking about above these doors will come back within a couple or a few years. And things like that. But the paint on the brick and the paint on those doors definitely will be there for a long time. At least, it'll be there for a long time. This building won't need to be painted again, with the exception of cracks, depending on what you're going to do with the cracks, and then primer on that door and that door and that hole. Other than that, just painting it all 2 coats with a wash down will suffice. Again, if you just paint it 2 coats, Sherwin-Williams exterior super paint, no primer, it's still going to look great for years, with the exception of areas like this where there's rust on doors and rust on these lintels, and then the cracks, of course. There we go, these cracks. So again, you don't have to do anything with them. I'll just wash it off and paint it 2 coats, and that's an option. Your cracks will still be there, but you've got 2 coats of paint on very quickly. The other option is to properly repair these cracks, clean them out some, and then re-caulk them with a good, strong 50-year exterior caulking. So there's 5 of them. It's pretty much a full day's work. And then primer on these metal areas. That's a half of a day with cleaning them up, sanding them down, getting the primer, especially if we're talking about these doors here, the lintels. If we're just talking about this door, again, I can get that done relatively quick. It's just the purchase of the primer and the roller and the time that takes. And even with that, without cleaning these, I can still roll a primer on them and it'll help a ton. But if I clean the lintels and prime them properly with an oil-based enamel primer, there's your additional charge. So the one charge is 2 coats of exterior super paint, and the other, as far as that goes, if you want there to be 2 colors, if you want there to be a second color on the doors, then I'd have to charge really like $200 extra for a second color on the doors because of the change and the time that it takes and all of that. So I guess as far as paint goes, there's two options. 2 coats on the entire building, 1 solid same color. Navajo white, I think, is what we used on the other building. From there, paint color wise, you could do 2 colors for an additional charge. Your other additional charges would be primer on this door and a little on this door where needed. There is definitely a need. And then second to that could be primer on these lintels. If you look at them, they're in really rough shape, but they also need to be scraped. If you're scraping upside down, stuff getting in your hair and in your face, the cleanup, all of that's involved. So there's that, and then there's the crack repairs. Those would all be the additional charges. All right, if you have any questions, comments, concerns at all whatsoever, just leave a comment or contact me and let me know. Thank you.